It's the murder trial garnering intense interest, and we have breaking news now. Alex Murdaugh, the former South Carolina lawyer convicted of killing his wife and son, has just been sentenced to life in prison without parole.
The Netflix series about the Murdaugh murders is one of the most streamed right now. Let's bring in legal analyst Casey Garrett to break it all down. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
You bet.
You don't seem to be surprised in the least with this verdict and sentencing.
I really wasn't. The judge made some comments yesterday after the guilty verdict indicating that he felt that the evidence was very strong against him, which I think we all agree it was. So to me, with the hideous nature of this crime, these crimes, it's not surprising to me that he got a life sentence.
Is it surprising how quickly the jury returned that verdict yesterday? Less than 3 hours of deliberations, and now the sentencing happening just like that too.
Right. It was a resounding verdict. I mean, in our business, a quick verdict, obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, says that the jury really didn't suffer from any lingering doubts. They went back there, took care of business, and came out with a verdict. So yes, I think it was a very big statement on how they felt the state of the evidence was.
Casey, so many cases, no matter how high profile, no matter how much evidence is there, always seems to end up in appeal. Is there any chance that that could happen here, or no way? Is this a done deal?
Oh, it's absolutely going to be appealed. In a criminal case, everybody has a constitutional right to a direct appeal and post-conviction writ litigation. So it will be on appeal. I can't imagine that look,
no one's just going to sit back and say, okay, that's my faith. They're going to fight it.
Absolutely. And that's important. That's an important part of the process, because you're going to grade the papers of the judge during the trial and everything that happened, make sure it was done properly, that objections were sustained properly, and that the law was followed. There's always going to be legal issues that are appealed. Usually it's easy to overcome when the evidence is overwhelming, but you want to make sure that the judge and the lawyers did everything right.
Yeah, this was weeks of testimony, more than 70 witnesses. Alex Murdaugh took the stand himself. Do you think that was ultimately a good or bad move?
Right. That's a great question. I think in hindsight it was not a good move, right? Because I thought he was disingenuous. Everybody's entitled to kind of their opinion of how that came across, but I think, you know, he was caught in lies, and I think they were material lies. They were important lies. It bothered the jury very, very much. And of course, all of that fraud evidence came in as proof of motive, and I think that was also very damning. I think he came across as pretty arrogant. It's a tough call. It's one of the constitutional rights that a client absolutely has the right to make, no matter what the lawyer's advice is. So who knows what his lawyers advised him. It's a crapshoot when you take the stand.
Well, and the trial wasn't without drama either. You had the juror who was dismissed for improper conduct. Did that impact anything along the way?
Well, that could be something on appeal. It seems to me like the judge did kind of what he needed to do, but those kinds of things are always scrutinized. You don't want that kind of drama in a case like this. You want the verdict to be solid. I think it is, but it'll be something that's talked about for sure.
Yeah, this was a lot of circumstantial evidence for this case, but ultimately one juror said it was that cell phone video that had him at the kennels minutes before that, like, was, you know, a no-brainer in their mind when it came to the verdict. It
was extremely damning evidence. It put him at the scene at pretty much the precise time of the murders. And you know, we use that word circumstantial. That's a good word. It applies here, but that doesn't necessarily mean weak. Sometimes circumstantial evidence is actually stronger than direct evidence. So they had a pretty strong case, and they tried it well.
Always interesting to hear from the experts. Thank you, Casey, for being with us this morning.
Appreciate it.
Again, Alex Murdaugh sentenced to life in prison. The breaking news.